Alright guys, are we ready for lesson 2? Okay, so now we're going to, I'm not going to do too many of these at one time because I don't want the guy who's copying me on YouTube to get too much ammunition to just copy me and repackage it and present it as his own, as he's been doing for the last year. So we'll get a few of these and then go a little more. But we just did the major scale last time. We understood it, what the scale was based on. And when you play in a key, okay, if you're playing in the key of C, what that means is you're going to be using those notes in the C scale to play the song you're playing, and you're not going to use the other ones. That's why everybody likes to play in the key of C, because there's no black keys, there's no sharps or flats diatonically within the key. You can have an accidental, but you know, so everything that we use is going to be taken from that formula of C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Okay? So that's what it means to play in the key of C. We use some notes and we exclude the others for the most part. Alright? So, what I've done here is I've first changed my numbers to Roman numerals, because that's what you use in music theory. Okay? And that's just typically how people understand chords, is by Roman numerals. So hopefully this is okay with you. I changed the 1, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Notice the bottom note here is the scale, the C scale. Because we're going to build a chord on each root note. Okay, now you know the root of a tree. Okay, I meant to draw a tree. I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do that here. And you guys let me know if this guy on YouTube copies this as well. It'll just be, I just want to let everybody know, and then you can choose, you know, what you want. I just think everybody should do their own work. Anyway, so the root of a tree is the foundation of the tree, okay? So that's the root of each chord. We have a C here, and I'm going to build a chord on it. So I have 2 other notes, and the other 2 notes are called a third and a fifth. This is why it's called the third and the fifth. If the C is the root, the third is 3 notes. If we go C, D, E, that's 1, 2, 3. And the fifth is a fifth away. C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 makes the fifth. So we have the root, the third, and the fifth make a 3-note chord. Now, you have to have 3 notes to make a chord. Well, guitar players play 2-note chords all the time. They call them power chords. Which is 3 notes, but theoretically we're going to say we need 3 chords. We need 3 notes. Okay? So C, E, G is our root, third, and fifth. Now it's real easy to understand the chord in this position because it's all spaced out, just nice like an Oreo cookie, I always say. You have the, you know, the top and the bottom and the filling in the middle. So the 3 notes. Alright? And when we move it up, we're going to build a chord now on the 2nd scale degree, D. Now remember, each one of these chords is built on a scale degree of the C scale. So that's the 2 chord is D. Now I'm going to have a third, which is 2 notes away. Well, it's the third of the chord, but D, E, F. And then I'm going to go to get to A. Root, third, fifth. I can move it up a little more and go to E and build a chord there, E, G, B. And then I can move it up again and do F, A, C. And then I can move it up again, G, B, D. And typically 1, 3, 5 is how you play these. Depending on what the other chords, you can also use 1, 2, 4, or some other, you know, depending on what circumstances you were in the piece of music you're playing. A, C, E, and B, D, F is the last one. Now, this is called the triad vocabulary. Triad vocabulary. And let me tell you something now that's going to blow your mind here, because you think chords are so complicated. Any 3-note chord has to be one of these. Any 3-note chord. There's only 7. Now let me explain. We can put sharps and flats wherever we want to on them. We can mix the notes around within the chord, but the chord doesn't change. Alright? A C chord always has C, E, G. A D chord always has D, F, A. And I can say it for each one, okay? A G chord always has G, B, D. But we can flat or sharp the different notes to get different sounds. Watch this. C, E, G. I can sharp the C. Or I can flat the E. Or I could sharp the C and flat the E. Or I could sharp the G. All the different combinations I want to do. But the letters do not change. They always stay the same. So hold on to these letters. This is called the triad vocabulary. Okay? Alright, you guys let me know if our other friend on YouTube copies this as well. I'll be real interested. Anyway, triad vocabulary. And so what that means is you need to memorize C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F. I've been saying that since, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. It's called the triad vocabulary. Memorize those combinations. C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F. Because those will never change, okay? We'll flat and sharp all kind of things, but memorize that so that when we're trying to figure out chords later, it'll ring a bell. If somebody says the combination of notes F, A, and D, oh, you go, oh, that's D, F, A, that's a D chord. But if you haven't memorized the triad vocabulary and kind of made a jingle out of it in your mind, you know, then it won't come to you like that. Theory will be hard for you if you don't have that. So that's called the triad vocabulary. So that's what we're doing in this lesson. Learning the triad vocabulary, play through the chords to get used to them. Okay? Here's something else you can do. You can, in the left hand, you can play the root note. C, D, E, F, G, and then come back down. Because you want your hand to get used to playing that triad that way, okay? So let's do that now. Let's go to the next lesson, lesson 3. That's all I'm going to do right now. I don't want to give our friend that copies me too much ammunition to do that. So we'll do the next lesson here.